This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm in Leeds and I'm joined by the Leeds Warrior, Josh Warrington. Josh, how is life treating you?
Boxing terms, more going on behind the scenes than what's being portrayed. General life, bang on, some stuff that you put to one side, it's been cracking on with them, you know, being an husband and being a dad, and to my wife and kids, and painfully watching the Leeds United, but I've still been in here working, working hard as well. Since December, I had a few weeks off in January, but I've fucking been working hard ever since. And sometimes I have to slow down a bit because I get fucking a bit too giddy. And but most of the times it's hard training.
Josh, usually when I'm around you, you're quite in a good spirit. You're funny. You make jokes with me and what have you. Today, watching you work out, seemed to be like there was somewhat of a pent-up frustration within you. Is that how you feel about your boxing career at the minute because you wait for a date?
A little bit, mate. Yeah, a little bit. I've certainly over the last month or so, I feel like that. I mean, this year fucking seems to be flying by. Let's rewind back to February. I was down in Nottingham. I was ringside watching, Lara-Wood. Promised I was going to be fighting the winner of them, and got myself. I was already in some decent shape, and just seemed to ramp up everything, sparring technique. My head was just fully on Lara, and it went on for near on 2 months. It was going to be announced and my head were fucking saying nothing. Even when I heard rumours and you heard whispers that it might not happen, and it might, Wood might take the rematch, I was still believing that it was still going to be me. And then it started getting a bit. It's about 50-50. Now it's now 60-40. Now it's 70-30. And then every week went by and we're fucking losing 10% or so. And a little bit in my head we were fucking saying, right, you know what, fucking have a night off tonight, stay at home with your kids, but I was saying, no, fucking get in the gym, work, go train, go fucking train. And I was coming in here like I'm all obsessed, training hard as well. And then obviously it wants to be, but then things changed, and you might be out on the June the 10th, and all right, no worries, a bit of a fucking safety net there, so back on it, back training and stuff. And then for whatever reason, we didn't fucking get that one done, and they were like, right, fuck it, I'm off to Chippy. So in this game it's mad because you've got to peak for that one night, you've got to peak for that 36 minutes. So I fucking I had to just give myself a few weeks off, and last week or so I've just been back in. But I'm just ticking over.
Josh, going to pick that back up there. I'm going to re-ask that question. The lads behind you were doing the Sally Up, Sally Down challenge. It seems to be, press-ups challenge. You dodged that one, didn't you? I saw you had a show. That's all you asked to do in the interview. My last question was, up until we paused for that, was what's the latest with your career? Looking at it from when you'll return, who are you looking at? What's in the pipeline?
Yeah, so obviously last time out I lost a majority decision fight. The fact that I believed I won, the fact that many of us believed I won, the fact that many believed I drawn, and the fact that many people have thought I lost, and I think any one of them scenarios you can't argue with. So obviously naturally I wanted the rematch, couldn't happen. They wanted Lara-Wood, that didn't happen. We're not going to go over that again, but I'm fucking, I'm a two-time world champion, and I don't think that, I should be having to fucking go through the stages of having to work me back up into, positions especially when there's champions out there who haven't got opponents, and all right, I can understand if I've been banjoed in the next fight, then you might say, right, fucking hell, right, Josh, you've gone back a level, so you're going to have to work yourself back up. All right, fair enough, I'd understand that. But if my arm would have been raised off that last one, then you'd have said, well, fucking hell, it's just champion now. And then maybe Wood's not getting the rematch. Maybe Lara's fighting me and we're having like a fucking unification fight. Do you know what I mean? So I feel that like I'm fucking should be getting straight back into a world title fight, and obviously I've been promised the winner of the second Lara-Wood fight. There's been interest of myself and winner of Conlan Lopez. Even though Lopez has said he'd never fight me in his career, Conlan has an interest. And you've got like Ramirez who just won WBO, and you've got fucking Ray Vargas who's got WBC. So I'm ranked number 1 with WBC. I'm ranked number 3 with IBF. Number 1 being the mandatory and number 2's vacant. I'm quite high in WBO, so it's like there's lots of options available still.
I mean, just to touch on all of that world scene, obviously you have Lopez-Conlan on May 27th on the same weekend, obviously Lara-Wood 2, which ties up 2 fights for the immediate future. Away from obviously Robeisy Ramirez recently becoming WBO titleist, and as you mentioned, Ray Vargas there with WBC. So who are you talking to? I know you've just said you've been promised for Wood Lara 2 winner, but at the same time we know that the mandatory, we expect to see that one called, which is why Lee Wood stepped back in for that rematch immediately.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Eddie's kind of said to me, sometimes fights can be just as big without belts. And I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself there because I'm fucking just said, I want to be in the world scene, but these are world level opponents as well, or been linked with them. So there is a lot going on. I don't want to say too much, but there's a lot going on. I've been reassured from my team that some big news is coming. And that's it. I've got to put my trust in my team and go from there.
What's the date that you're hoping to be back out by?
Well, like I say, it's not going to be fucking June or May, is it? So yeah, I think realistically, probably after August, September time, I reckon.
Josh, when you lost your title, you kind of somewhat had people suggesting you fell into that who needs them club because you didn't have something to offer other people. Do you think that's unfair for people to associate yourself with that club, or do you understand why people might throw you in there?
Well, I'm regarded as who needs, yeah. Yeah, maybe so. But, I've still fucking bring a resume. I bring a big resume with a decent CV with good names on there. Got a big fan base, and away from. Listen, I know it's fucking not about a popularity contest, but it is a fucking business as well as a sport. There's aside from heavyweights, there's not many other fighters who fucking selling out arenas, selling out stadiums like I've done for so long. I must be one of the very few now. Normally, one fighter needs a fucking opponent to dance with to sell a show, like your Chris Eubank and your Conor Benz or Liam Smiths now in this case, but just on their own, you know what I mean, like against a Lopez or a Kiko Martinez. But we've done it for numerous of years, and yeah. Why wouldn't you want to fucking put that in your scalp? Why wouldn't you just want to put that in your CV? So yeah, maybe a bit unfair. If anything, I would have thought that people might think I'm an easier target now fucking being beat, but yeah.
Just to get your thoughts on those 2 fights on May 27th, how do you see Lara-Wood 2 playing out firstly?
I think it's going to be the same outcome. I really do. Listen, I'll be honest with you, when I was sat there, I thought we was going to Nottingham. I thought that Lee was in total control, but few factors taken into consideration this time. He's gone straight into a rematch. He got cut. I don't care how long fucking he thinks it's healed. That's going to open up again, and then I don't know how mentally strong he is, but he's going to have them fucking spooks. One punch, and it ended it all. And I just feel it's going to be the same outcome. As in terms of Conlan Lopez, it's going to be a bit of a chess match. I just feel that Lopez might be better fighting inside, but then I've been up and down with that one because I thought Conlan's fucking a better boxer, and even though Lopez is a bit awkward, I think Conlan's a lot more awkward and fucking. But then I thought Lopez done do well over at stretch, but then I fucking give an intense pace. I suddenly picked up after fucking having a bollocking off my old man after 5 and 6. I really took the fight to him, and then he was holding on for dear life, and I hurt him. does Conlan hit as hard as me? Well, does he headbutt as well as me? Well, these are all factors to take into consideration. At the minute, I'm probably leaning towards Lopez for that one. But that could change.
I'm sure it probably will do as we build up to it, Josh. But just on Mauricio Lara, how personal is that rivalry for you now? We saw how it ended out in the aftermath of his victory against Lara-Wood, and it certainly got kind of everybody up for a third fight with yourself. So for you, how personal is that now?
Oh, he's been saying it's personal for a long time. Fucking me and Warrington is personal. I fucking sound like I repeat myself every time I do an interview. Where he says that's like his dad off, but fucking load of bollocks. Listen, for me, I have had some good matches over the years. I've had some fucking nasty build-ups and bit of nasty, this and that. But it's dramas really, me and Selby throughout the years. But I'd shake the man's hand if he were stood here. Even Barry, I fucking. How much I've talked about Barry throughout the years, and that build-up were nasty, and even since after it were nasty. But even Barry, I wouldn't say it were personal, but Lara it is, mate. Fucking anyone who speaks to around the world, and I've had American journalists speak to me since the incident. It's one of the worst fucking things you can do. It's so degrading. It's worse than being, as they claim, sucker punch, man. Being sniped from side. You'd rather get fucking sidewinded than be spat at. It's the worst of the worst. So for me, it's crossed the fucking line there, and it is personal. And listen, if we were to fight, obviously you want to get out the fucking. We want both men to get out there, safe and sound. But I'd be going in there to fucking hurt him. I would be going in there to hurt him, and I'd want to fucking torture him over a long period, just be constantly punching him for fucking 10, 11, and then stop him at 12.
How difficult would it be to control your emotions in that fight, Josh? Say if you did have that trilogy, because we know how heavy-handed Mauricio Lara is. You know more than anyone how heavy-handed he is, and I'm sure him possibly hearing that might be music to his ears, that you maybe want to stand there and trade with him.
Yeah, but people say he's heavy-handed, and he is, but I didn't get knocked out with one punch. This is what I think people seem to forget. I took 9 rounds of that clean. Kiko Martinez is an heavy puncher, but people probably don't forget it. It's Hashem Magassa who put fucking Rigondo down. He's an heavy puncher. I have been in with heavy punches throughout the years, but he kind of gets swept under the carpet because fucking Lara's the one to knock me out, and he's been on a bit of a run. Yeah, he has got unfinished punches, but I certainly know from my own mindset going into that rematch. When he hit me first round, I remember going back to my fellow and saying, "It's not the same, Dad. It's not the same here." But what do you mean? He went, "It's not the same. He's not the same." And what I meant by that is when he hit me in the first fight, I was fucking expecting a breeze, and then when every time he hit me, he rocking me with boots. The second fight, he just not having the same impact. So I know what to expect, and as in terms of emotionally, well, I've been through these scenarios many times, so yeah, I'd surely cope with it.
Josh, just before I let you go, a couple of things to touch on. Obviously, you've got Maxi Hughes back in camp behind you. A lot of talk about that George Kambosos fight. Certainly seems to be done now. Maxi, George, next. How does Maxi go about beating George?
Maxi's fucking, you've seen over the last few years, he's been this box of tricks, and I think lads in the gyms have known for years. He's just not brought it to the table. Now the man's oozing the confidence, and he's bringing all the skills that he can do to the table. I think he's going to have far too much for George. George is a good fighter and he's full of himself, but he's just come off 2 fucking losses. Momentum's with Maxi at this moment in time, and I just don't think he's going to be able to deal with Maxi's movement and Maxi's skills.
That's going to be my next question. We know George Kambosos loves to come forwards, loves to throw as many punches as possible. Does that not just play into Maxi's hands because of his style?
This is it, and not only that, he's a bit cockshot of himself. I've already seen interviews with him saying that he's what's going to come next after Maxi and blah blah blah. Nah, bollocks. Fucking Maxi's head's fully on this job, and any percentages what are taken over Max Hughes, it's fucking your own downfall.
And Josh, just before I let you go, because he's been kind of all over Twitter today, Fraser Clarke and Fabio Wardley. We will not see that fight next for a British heavyweight title. I don't know if you've tuned in much over your social media, but from what's been reported and from what Eddie Hearn said, Fraser and his team pulled him out of the fight and out of the purse bids rather. Just to get your thoughts on not seeing Wardley-Clarke next one, which had built up very nicely.
Yeah, a bit frustrating, because obviously, I think as fans now we're spoiled, aren't we? And listen, I'm a boxer, but I'm a fan, and these big fights have been quite juicy. And maybe people think, "Oh, we can save it for down the line," but this is what keeps the sport alive. And you know, you want to fucking have these big fights now. You know, if one of them loses, it's not the end of the world. They can come back and meet again down the line. What a fucking rematch that is. But yeah, just a shame. Can't really comment on what else because you don't know the ins and outs, what's going on behind the scenes.
I'm sure some more of it will come to light in the coming days, Josh, and I'll leave you now to shoot off home, get yourself back to your family, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully with a fight day when we next our interview as well. So thank you.
Cheers, mate. Always a pleasure.